Hey guys, welcome back to Being Extra. It is your host, Jorge Gonzalez, the most extra, and I am joined by a good friend of mine, Michael Braun. How are you doing, Michael?
I can't complain. How about yourself, Jorge?
I am doing great, man. The movies are starting back up, and by that I mean movie work. Sets are opening back up. With COVID conditions, we have to get COVID tested, but that makes me happy, man, because, and we are going to talk about this. When we left off in, I think it was March, man, we thought, the initial thought, everybody thought it was going to be 2 weeks. The first initial thought, 2 weeks. No, man, weeks turn into months, dude. And I like to ask this question to all my guests. What, what set were you on before we all got quarantined?
The last set that I was on was the show called DMZ, and it hasn't come out yet. It's a show that's airing on HBO. But yeah, that's the last show that I was on.
Is that the Ava DuVernay?
Yes, that one.
Okay, okay. I got to work a day on that, and I'm sure we'll talk about that, man. But I want you guys to know that Michael, he works as an extra with me. I know he also went to film school. He wants to be, and he is going to be a director. And he has an awesome channel that I've been checking out called Jurassic Prince. Tell us more about that channel, man. That looks like you're having so much fun with it. Please tell me about that.
Well, it's a channel that I just started this past summer. It's my own Jurassic Park fan page channel because I'm a huge Jurassic Park fan. I love all the movies, especially the first one. The first one is my favorite movie of all time. And so, long story short, my roommate, he knows how much of a fan I am, and I have so many like Jurassic Park stuff, like toys, memorabilia.
I see a poster somewhere back there. Yeah, I see it. I see it right there.
So I have so many, Jurassic Park stuff in my apartment, and so my
Mhm.
roommate, was telling me, "Hey, man, you should create your own like Jurassic Park, fan channel. You have all the stuff. I think you can get some good, views out of it." And at first, I was like, "Eh." I mean, I don't know, maybe. I mean, but then I just did it one day, and I just started posting Jurassic Park stuff like I said, my posters, some toys, movie tickets. Um, but then I had this idea where I can interview some actors from the movies, and I'm like, you know what? Let me try to do that. So far I've interviewed three actors from the first two movies, Jurassic Park and The Lost World, and so far it's been great. So far the three actors have been amazing. They've been so great to me. They're very kind, very nice enough for them to take the time to talk to me about their time working on Jurassic Park and working close with Steven Spielberg and that's another thing. Long story short, one of the reasons why I want to become a filmmaker is because of Steven Spielberg. He got me inspired. Other than Jurassic Park, I love E.T., Jaws, Indiana Jones, and you name it. And so when I was a kid, I grew up watching his movies, and as I got older, when DVDs were getting more popular, because my first experience discovering, I guess, movies was the theaters, but also VHS tapes when those things were popular back then. But so when DVD came out, you get to see those bonus features, the more of the behind the scenes stuff, the making of, you know, this movie and that movie. And so when I saw, clips of, Steven Spielberg, doing his thing, directing and, coming up with the creativity for his movies, that got me inspired in doing my own stuff, telling my own stories. So, I mean, I think he's the best film director in the world. I mean, he's the GOAT. He's the greatest of all time. Yeah.
That's true, man. Dude, that sounds like an awesome story. I want to ask you about that. How were you nervous about asking these actors that were in the movie? Were you afraid, or were you just happy that, like, to ask them to be in your to interview them?
Well, I guess I was I was thinking to myself, hopefully I don't scare them off. I mean, I've never, I mean, so two people I found on Instagram, and I was like,
Hmm.
hopefully they're not gonna think I'm some kind of like stranger, some kind of like, I mean, they
Right,
don't know
right.
me and I don't know them, so like I'm hoping they'll say yes. And if not, then that's okay. I understand. But these two actors, they said, yeah, sure, we'll do it. And then another guy on Facebook, he was so quick thing. So the third actor that I just interviewed, I told him if he was down, and he didn't say yes or no. The first thing that he said was, um, "Show me your credentials," because I told him I'm an independent filmmaker. I'm starting a channel. So his first question
Right,
was like, "Show me that you're legit," basically, which I actually kind of like.
right,
I'm
right,
like, okay, I got you. I can show you some stuff that I've done and show you how legit I am.
right,
And so he liked my content, and so we just went for it, and yeah, so far it's been a huge success. um interviewing three actors. I want to interview crew members too. I want to do that just to see what were things
of
like behind the
course.
camera.
That's an awesome idea, dude. I hope you get to that, and hopefully you work your way up to Spielberg. You know, that would be amazing. That would be
Oh,
amazing.
that would be a dream come true. I wouldn't even interview this guy. I would just, shake his hand and thank him for what he does, and inspiring, me to become where he wants to be. Inspiring a 12-year-old kid, to go out there and make films and all that.
Yeah, man. Before I keep going, where can people follow you or find your page at?
Okay, so I have a Facebook, a Instagram, and a YouTube channel. So it's easy on Facebook and Instagram. It's just called Jurassic Prince. Um, yeah, Jurassic Prince on Facebook. Just type it up. It should be there. Instagram is it's just at Jurassic Prince, all lowercase, and YouTube just Jurassic Prince. So yeah, it's a brand new channel. So
And guys, for the people watching this, I'm gonna put the links down below. So make sure to check out Jurassic Prince. Awesome interviews. I hope to see more, man. I hope you unravel more stories behind the scenes, everything that's going on, dude. That I really enjoyed that, man. I really enjoyed that. And the important thing is to stay creative, you know. So I'm glad you're doing that. Yeah.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man. No, of course, of course. And is there any other projects you're working on at the moment, or you just been focusing on Jurassic Prince?
There is a short film that I want to do sometime this year. I've actually told you about this before.
I believe so. We were on Red Notice.
Yeah, it's that mafia, short, the gangster short.
Right.
I still want to do that. I just need to find the right, cast and crew.
Right, right.
I'm looking for a DP at the moment. I did have a DP, but he actually can't do it due to schedule conflicts. So he won't have time
Gotcha.
to TP. So I'm still on the lookout for a DP, which is pretty much like the main thing that I need for my short. Yeah.
I got you, man. Yeah, man. Any help I can bring, dude. If I'm free, available, I lend my time. Whatever you need, man. I like to help my friends out. Just like you're helping me out with the channel and stuff like that. I like that. I like interviewing my friends, talking to my friends about movies and helping them out, man.
Well, thank you, Jorge. Likewise, if you ever need any help with your other stuff, like any shorts or anything like that, by all means, let me know, and I'll do the best I can to go out and help you.
Yeah, I have a short coming up, but I'm still in the writing process, but I'm trying to shoot it by end of October before it gets too cold. Because that's when all the major, um, that's when the big film festivals start going. So, I'm not talking about like,
Yeah,
Sundance, but I'm talking about like, other, yeah, local ones.
smaller stuff.
Yeah, smaller stuff just to get it started.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, and we as filmmakers, that's a big way to get our stuff out there, because
Hmm.
I want to talk to you about this. Do you feel nowadays with YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, do you think it's easier for independent filmmakers nowadays, or do you think it's about the same, just to get your work out there?
I think it should be easier because I guess in the what early to mid, I think mid 2000s when YouTube became a thing, it's
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
it was like at the time it was like the only like website where you can post videos. Now you can post videos on pretty much everything, not just
Yeah.
obviously YouTube, but Facebook, Instagram, Twitter too, I believe. Um,
Yeah.
so you have multiple websites where you can post your videos. You could post the same video but in different websites, and it's probably the best. It's probably best to do that so that way um, you can get more, I guess, viewers from
Right.
each yeah website. And so um, yeah, I mean, thank goodness for the technology that we have when it comes to um, I guess social media platform.
Yeah.
I agree, man. I agree 100%. I think there's two sides to that. It's easier nowadays because you can even shoot something on your phone and upload it right away.
Right.
But the downside to that, in my opinion, it's just my opinion, is that there is an excess of stuff on YouTube. You understand? I did a small short film for school. This is when I was in film school. Uploaded it to YouTube. Super happy. I'm like, all right, let's do this. Dude, I looked it up. It was like in the bottom of the list.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's because there's so many things. So it has to really stand out nowadays. So, for example, I went the other day on YouTube and put Batman fan film. There was hundreds of of fan made Batman films. So I'm like, okay, awesome. Everybody can post it, but for it really to get known, it has to like either stand out or word of mouth. So that's the part that to me is the downside of things, because back in the day, for you to make a film and put it out there, that was really hard to do because there was no digital, no YouTube, no Facebook. It was just you put it out, you sold it, whatever. And now it's easier to put on. It's easier to to show to the world, but it might get lost or it might not. I'm not trying to discourage anyone. It's just from personal experiences. That's not going to stop me. It's not going to stop me from keep doing what I love. But I know there's that challenge of, okay, now how do I make my stuff stand out from millions of other short films or other movies that are out in the world already? You understand?
Mhm.
So I think the film festival is a big way to do it, because they really do pick out the best of the film festivals. That's why I like film festivals, because they still give the smaller guys like us, hopefully we get big, a chance. And you're a director, so I think you understand what I'm talking about when I say that stuff, right?
No, yeah, I totally get it. It's a pretty challenging, field to get into, but as long as you keep on grinding, keep on working hard, and just
Mhm.
make as many short films as possible, create your own, demo
Yeah.
reel, then you might find key to success. And also networking. you know Networking is like the most important thing to do, because you might
Right.
find the right person that can help you out, who can give you the opportunity to direct a feature film for Hollywood or something like that. So you just got to meet as many
Very true.
as many people as you can, and just create some kind of like relationship with these people, get to know them, get make what's the word, make them get them to get to know you, if that makes sense.
Yes.
And just befriend them, you know put yourself out there, sell yourself. You might get a lot of no's, and that's bound to happen.
Mhm.
Expect to get a lot of no's, and once you get a
Yeah.
yes, then that should be it. I mean, just keep on doing you, and just do your own stuff, and just put more content out there for for, for the love of sake, and 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 every time I post content, I feel very accomplished. And even if it's not like the best like video ever, best short, at least you did something. And as long as you did something about it, then to me that's a huge deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true, man. Yeah, like you said, you feel accomplished. Like if you actually made it, if you actually finished it, not just talked about it and be like, oh, this is what I'm gonna do and never do it, but you actually, get down, film it, shoot it, whatever. You feel so good. You feel so good, man, and it feels great. Even if only 100 people watch it, you're just like, that. I did that, I shot that. I had long days editing. It feels great, man. Like when I started this show, it was because of quarantine, because I had nothing to do. But now every episode I put out, I'm so happy, man. And little by little it's growing. It's not skyrocketing, but it's going little by little. But I feel accomplished every episode I put out. I feel like I learned something new from people, or I get to know cool things I didn't know. And like you talking about, your channel, Jurassic Prince, and stuff like that. I love stuff like that, man. I like talking to people who have a passion for their craft. Like I know you, man. I know you love movies, dude. And I know I talked to you on set, and we've had so much fun talking, dude. And I want to talk to you a little bit about extra work.
Yeah.
Because the channel's called Being Extra because that's how I started, as an extra. And I know we've all done extra work and we've had fun on it. I want to ask, how did you get started as an extra? Like what was that first time you did extra work, or that you found out about extra work? Tell me about that.
Well, so I've moved to Georgia, in the Atlanta suburbs 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And my roommate, he picked up a gig as an extra over at Dynasty, the show Dynasty.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And and he was telling me about it, and so he was telling me that a lot of people do this full time. They make a living just being an extra or a background actor, and so.
Mhm.
But he was saying that you gotta be consistent with it. You gotta keep on applying every time just to find gigs. It's like which is annoying, but it's you got keep on being consistent in order to make a living with these kind of things. And so when he told me that, we were both working at Target. He still works at Target, but I quit like a long time ago, like way over a year ago. And so I picked up my first gig, and because I happened to be off that day from Target, and I'm like, let me pick up a background gig from this movie called Holiday. That was my first movie that I worked on, Holiday, which it hasn't come out yet, surprisingly. But
Really?
it's
Wow.
yeah. So they shot the movie last year, I think from like April to like June, July last year in 2019, and now it's it's September 2020, and I kind of thought it'd be out by now, but no. Well, anyways, that was my first gig, my first movie that I worked on. It's with Emma Roberts. I think the movie's about two people, a couple going on dates on like every holiday or something like that.
Okay.
So that was my first gig.
Oh wow! And then from there on,
That's what I've been doing ever since.
you just kept going, like right after that first one.
Yeah, I like to see more sets. I also do a bit of PA work every now and then. I've done like 2 or 3, gigs as a PA, especially that I actually study film. I was hoping to look for more PA gigs this year, but the pandemic,
Yeah.
fucked it up for everyone.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
But the thing is, I think it's great being an extra, is because you have the advantage to see how to do things on set. Especially if you want to learn, filmmaking. Just if whenever you see a director, you want to see how he does things. You want to see how he directs. You want to see how he communicates with the actors and the crew members, and other stuff like the G&E stuff, Gripping Electric. You want to see how they set up lights, and you want to see how they shape the light and stuff like that. You want to see how how the boom mic operates the microphone, stuff like that. So I think it's a great advantage to take. If you want to see how everyone does things on set.
That's very true, man. You learn a lot even if you're an extra, especially like
Yes.
for people like you and me that love film, not just for acting, but the technical side of things. I know you and me are looking at the cameras, how they shoot it, the lighting, the sound, right?
It's what's the word? It's very cool just to see how they do, I guess, the magic. And to me, it's another way to network with people. Let's say you're an extra and you just become, good friends with the PAs or something like that. Then that's another way to network, is to put yourself out there. Sometimes I will like tell the PA or even the ADs, hey, I'm actually I've had experiences as a PA. If you guys need additional help, additional PAs, let me know. I'd be more than happy to help out. So I'll do that sometimes, just to tell them that I'm available and I like to work on set. Even more. Thing is, as a PA, you have a bit more of a advantage because I think you're even closer to the crew than ever. For example, like if you're a PA, then you get to have lunch with the crew members. If you want to ask, the camera crew questions about how they do shots and all that, how to operate the movie camera, then you have the chance to be closer to them than ever, than compared to like being an extra. A funny thing, actually, long story short,
Yeah.
when I was working on this show called P Valley,
Yeah.
I so we everyone went back to holding, right? But I actually stayed so to see how they do things on set, and I was asking so many questions to the second AC, the second assistant camera man, and
Yeah.
and then I was talking to the DP, and then I think the key said PA saw me, and he just told me go back to holding. It's like I'm like, okay, technically they asked me to leave, and so I'm bothering everyone. I mean, the camera crew didn't mind. They actually liked it that I was asking
Right.
questions. They seem to appreciate that I'm
Right.
interested in knowing how they, operate the camera, which I
Right,
already
right.
know how to operate the
Right.
camera when I was in film school, but I still want to learn more.
Yeah, of course.
So,
Yeah, of course.
but if you're a PA, I feel like you have a more advantage to, to talk to anyone in crew. So I'm trying to
Yes.
do more PA work as well.
Yeah, man, I hope you get it, dude. Your story reminded me of a quick funny story. My wife, she's done extras with me before, just to see what it's like. So I took her to MacGyver, right? And I've been working on MacGyver for years as a core extra, and they needed like a replacement, so I took my wife. And they used her for a close-up shot. So I was like, okay, that's really cool. Like like a featured, right? And then 5 minutes later, no joke, I turn around and my wife is talking to the director, like they're friends. I'm like,
Okay.
what's going on? I'm like, it's your first day, and the director, it was this lady, because the lady, I forgot her name, very nice director. She was directing that episode. And her and my wife are just laugh, laugh, laugh. I'm like, what? Isn't she the director? And I'm just shocked. I'm like, it's your first day. So I'm like, of course I need to get into this. So I like get close. So I'm like, hey, how are you? And she's like, oh, it's my husband. And then I'm just like talking to the director too. And I'm like, this is the happiest day of my life. And all the PAs and all the extras are like, are they talking to the director? And we're just like laughing. And she was so nice. And it's funny that on her first day,
That's pretty cool.
her first day on MacGyver, she's already like up there talking to the director. I'm like, wow, people who are not into it are as much get like lucky like that, and they'll get more interactions, right? Sometimes it happens like that.
It's funny how that works out.
Yeah, dude. But well, speaking about extras, and is there one that you really stood out to you that you were like, wow, this is the best extra I've ever been on?
Best movie I've ever worked on. There's like 2 or 3 of them. I think the Suicide Squad. is a great one. That's like probably the biggest movie that I've worked on, and I've worked on that for a while, like 2 months, 3 months.
Yeah, we worked like 2 3 months. I remember. Yeah.
And that's actually how I met you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I met you on that movie, and it was so cool to see the sets. I mean, they're like the coolest sets I've ever seen, and just being around all these big blue screens, and just being around the big actors like Margot Robbie and um, Idris Elba and all that.
Yeah.
And just seeing the same people for a while, it feels like family. If you feel like you've known them for a long time, and I just feel like family on that set. And so I can't wait to see it next year. Do you know what we should do, Jorge?
Soldier party to go watch it.
Oh, not just a soldier party. We should have. Well, there's a lot of extras though. We should have we should rent out like a theater somewhere, and have our own
We can.
have some kind of like premiere or something.
Well, we can buy one out. That's possible. You can buy one out, dude.
You can buy one.
Yeah,
out,
buy one
dude.
out just for the extras that were in this movie.
The main people we started off with, not because at the end there was like 200, but like the main people that we started from the beginning. That would be awesome to have, dude. It was like 60 of us. That would be freaking amazing.
Yeah.
Dude, I would love that.
Me too, man. We need to plan this out. We need to.
You and me, man. We'll do this.
Yes.
We'll do this.
We'll talk about. We'll talk more about that.
Yeah.
What's another movie that I liked? I got to work on Richard Jewell. It's a movie, by Clint
Oh.
Eastwood, and I actually had the privilege to meet Clint Eastwood on set, and
Wow.
and it was amazing. I actually love Clint Eastwood. He's a legend, and I grew up watching his movies. And here's the thing: I've seen so many celebrities, and I'm so used to it, and I don't really get starstruck. But when I saw Clint Eastwood, I got starstruck. I mean, he's a great actor and a great director and producer, and so I got to meet him after set was wrapped, after we were wrapped with that scene. So so funny. My friend and I, so everyone was leaving, going home, leaving set, but my friend and I, we stayed because they were still shooting a couple more like shots and all that, but we stayed to see if anyone's going to go up to Clint Eastwood and take pictures. And you know what? Some people were taking pictures with Clint Eastwood, and so yes.
Really?
So I'm like, if everyone's taking pictures, then so am I. I'm going to take some pictures. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care if I get in trouble, and that's my excuse. Everyone's taking pictures. If they can, then so can I. So I met Clint Eastwood. I shook his hand and say it was a pleasure working with you, Mr. Eastwood. And he was like,
Wow.
pleasure's all mine. Thank you for helping out. And so I took a selfie with him, and that was it. It was a great experience meeting the legend himself.
Of course, man. He's a legend, dude. I am so happy you got to meet him. That's what's up, because I only saw him on set working, but on 1917 to Paris, and just seeing him was enough for me. I'm like, oh, there he is. He's the legend. I got to see the legend direct, I got to see him directing, doing his craft, doing his work. That to me was enough. And you got to shake his hand. He talked to you, man. Dude, I'm jealous. That is very cool. That's a cool story, man. I'm really jealous. You have to send me that picture so we could put it on the channel.
But it was actually gutsy because I was afraid I was going to get in trouble or something like that. But sometimes you got to take some chances. It was actually my friend's idea to do this. Let's just stay and see if we can actually met Clint Eastwood, and luckily we did. So that movie was huge for me, and then the Suicide Squad, and then there's one more movie that I worked on that hasn't come out yet, but it's called Christmas on the Square. Have you worked on that?
I did not work on that.
It's a movie with Dolly Parton. It's a Netflix movie that's coming out probably this year, I'm assuming. And the director was what's her face, Debbie Allen. She's an actress, also director. She was in Grey's Anatomy. Um, what other movies has she done? She's done quite a few movies. Um, Fame, I think that's the name of the movie. Fame, some movie that came out in the 80s. She's in that movie. Well, anyway, she was the director of this movie, and Dolly Parton was the one of the main, characters. And Dolly Parton, she was really sweet. She was such an angel, and I took pictures with her twice actually on set. So she was very nice. Okay, here's the thing. Yeah. I think one of the ADs or producers on set, he said out loud, "Hey, if anyone wants to take a picture with Dolly, come make a line, stand in line, and take pictures with Dolly." I'm like, really? Like Dolly wanted to take pictures with us. I'm like, it will be my pleasure to take pictures with Dolly Parton. And so yeah, she was very sweet, very outgoing, and I would love to meet her again. She was great. So those three movies are probably by far my best, by far the best productions that I've worked on. Yeah, so far.
Yeah, dude. Speaking of that Suicide Squad was probably the best production I've ever worked on. Even over Avengers. And
you worked on Avengers?
2 days, no, 3 days. I did 3 days as a military. I did the 70s scenes when they went back to the 70s in the military camp. I did those, and it was a crazy day because we got to see Tony Stark hug his father, and we were all freaking out. We were like, "What's going on?" At that moment, we were all like, "What the hell is going on?" But I was like, that was the pinnacle for me because Robert Downey Jr. said hello to us. How are you guys? Thank you guys for doing such a good job. We're like, But once I got on the Suicide Squad, I didn't know what we were getting into until I saw the beach set. Do you remember the beach set? How crazy it was, dude?
Yes. That was a really cool set to work on.
It blew my mind, dude. How big it was, how real it looked. The wave machine. And that was just one of the 2 sets we worked on. And that blew my mind being on something that massive. Even James Gunn said those are the biggest sets he's ever worked on. And I was like, wow, then this is the biggest set I've ever been on. And it was amazing how much work they put into it. You can tell James Gunn was having fun with that movie. Did you watch the behind the scenes thing they did?
Yes. The sneak peek video when they released it under that DC fandom event online. Yeah, I actually did see that. And actually I posted I took some screenshots of that video of the stuff that I worked on, the beach set and the other set that took place outside. And I took screenshots out of it and I just posted those pictures on Facebook. I'm not sure if you saw that. But yeah, I was really excited to see that video. I mean, it's so cool to tell people that I was on that, I worked on that, and it was cool to be around these huge actors and working with, James Gunn, the director of Guardians of the Galaxy. And so it was pretty cool to see that. Yeah, it was probably by far the most exciting thing I've seen from like a sneak peek or like a trailer. Oh wait, you know what? Speaking of, I was actually in the trailer of Richard Jewell. For like a second, you can see the back of me. I forgot to mention, but I'm in the back cover of the Richard Jewell of the Blu-ray disc. You see, I'm right. I'm not sure if you can see it, but I'm right.
Yeah, I can.
I'm right here.
Oh man, dude,
Which is hilarious.
that is awesome, dude.
Me.
That is really cool. That is really cool.
So, yeah, I'm in the back cover of the Clint Eastwood movie on Blu-ray disc DVD.
How did you find out?
I just bought it. And, I mean, I wanted the movie because I'm in it, and when I bought the movie, flip the the case, I'm like, there I am. I know that's me because that's my clothes, that's my hair,
Right.
that's my body shape. That's me. So it's, I just think that's crazy. I mean, it's funny. It's just, I mean, you can only see my back, but still, I think that's pretty cool.
That's really cool, man. That's like a cool little thing that you can always show in the future. Like, hey, that's me, man. That's really cool, dude. And dude, I hope we get to work on a project as big as Suicide Squad or something like that again. Like just to finish off on that subject, I did enjoy that set. Biggest sets I've ever been on. Seeing the actors were amazing. Margot Robbie, Idris Elba, like you said, Joel Kinnaman. I can't wait for this movie. This is the biggest DC movie that's coming out since the Justice League, because it's like an anti-Justice League in a way. But not to get too much into that, into the comic book lore of things, but for the movie, the way it was shot, everything, I'm never gonna forget that experience, and I hope we do have like a Soldados meeting, like you said, and then maybe I could film it. We can film it and just like post it on the channel, and just have like a little premiere just for the soldiers, man.
Yeah, everyone could be in their tuxedo and or like some kind of suit and
Yeah.
dresses and all that. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. You know what? And also, I prefer working on DC than Marvel. The Marvel. I'll work
Really?
on DC any day over Marvel. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of working on Marvel. I mean, I didn't have a good experience working on Marvel. I mean, the way they treat extras on set is, to me, it's terrible. Um, I mean, they would treat us like criminals. We don't feel, I guess, included, and I don't know. I just don't like working with Marvel. I mean, they have really cool sets and all that. Really cool sets, really cool actors. I guess the way the crew treats the extras is just not that. It's not
Right.
good. And there's this one time where the DP, the director of photography, made an extra cry. It pissed me off. I just didn't like to see that. And obviously, he got away with it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
I
of
just don't.
course.
I just don't like Marvel. I've never had a great experience working on Marvel. DC is a whole different level, though. DC is a lot better. Like I said before, I had a great time working on the Suicide Squad, and there's two other DC productions that I worked on. The other two were shows. One was Black Lightning, and
Mhm.
every time I worked on it, I seemed to have a good time. And one time I talked to one of the actors of Black Lightning. I think I forgot his name, the police chief or something like that, the detective. I forgot his name.
Yeah.
He was really cool with us. He was very outgoing. He was very talkative. He wanted to have a conversation with us, and I think that's really nice of him. So we felt very included. Even one of the directors of Black Lightning, she talked to us. She shook our hands, and she worked directly with us. And I actually like it when a director works closely with the extras.
Yeah.
You feel like you're very important.
Yeah.
And another show that I worked on was Stargirl, and
Yeah.
I've only worked on that once, but it was a good day because so when we were having lunch in the same room with the actors and director, and so one of the directors of that show was no other than Leah Thompson, who played Lorraine in Back to the Future, the mother.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she was actually like 2 or 3 seats away from me for lunch, and I recognized her. I was like, "Is that Lorraine? Is that Leah Thompson?"
Mhm.
So as she was going to the bathroom, I was going to the bathroom, and I was like, "Are you Leah?" And she said, "Yes." And I shook her hand, and this is why I said to her, I said this: "I'm your density. I mean, your destiny." And she got a laugh out of it. It's something. It's from Back to the Future.
I know.
No, I know.
That's what the father said. George McFly says to Lorraine.
Right.
So
George
I'm like,
McFly.
yeah, I'm your density. I mean, your destiny. And she laughed, and I'm like, yes, that's like the best Back to the Future moment I've ever had.
Hey, you said that to her. That wow.
Wow.
Yeah, to Lorraine herself.
Dude, that man, you're having these awesome experiences on set, dude. That's awesome. You're not afraid. You take that extra step, dude.
Dude.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta take chances. So, but yeah, I prefer DC over Marvel any day. I mean, yeah,
Yeah, dude. The one thing I will say about Marvel is just that they're such big movies that they treat you like working wise, like you're in the most important movie in the world. Like they don't treat you important. They treat you like okay, don't mess up. You're on this huge thing. Don't spoil, don't mess up, don't do anything, because we will kick you out and you'll never work on Marvel again. And you're just like, whoa, we get it. You're Marvel. We want to see you succeed, but I understand, man. And I had a lot of fun on Suicide Squad. It was way different. It was just like I don't know what the word for it is, but the atmosphere. The atmosphere felt different. Everything was great. I felt very like uptight on Marvel. On Marvel, it was very like military, and on Suicide Squad, it was very strict, but I don't know. It felt like we were filming something good, something great, and I really enjoyed that, man. I'm never gonna forget that. I hope more DC stuff films here. And well, to kind of finish the topic off on background and BG, uh, did you apply? I'm asking this because if you apply to Red Notice, I don't know. You probably saw this that you have to stay there for I think 40 something days, 41 days, in a hotel.
yeah, I saw that.
And they are doing this with a lot of either movies or TV shows now. It might be the new normal for a while. How do you feel about that, man?
Well, I get it. They want to take some safe precautions of what's been happening with COVID. It's pretty challenging. They are only selecting 40 people and having them stay in a hotel quarantine. Which you know what, that actually sounds kind of nice. But yeah, but yeah. I mean, it sucks. I mean, it's even harder to find gig now when it comes to stuff like that. Um, it sucks. It really sucks. But I get it. It's smart. It's a smart thing to do. I actually know someone that got picked. She was very lucky. It's actually what's her face? Vivian. You know Vivian Peterson?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, from Chile. Yeah, she got selected, and I'm like, lucky her. And
Did you apply?
No, I applied, but no, I didn't get um hired. Yeah.
Dude, I was thinking about it, but I'm like, no, I have my wife, I have other responsibilities, I can't leave for 40 days. It sounds awesome. It sounds really fun, but I can't just leave for 40 days, so I decided not to do it. It sounded like, what?
That's another thing actually. Um, It'd be hard for me too because I have my other stuff, my channel, and also I want to shoot my short this year, and so it'd be nice to get a good paycheck working on Red Notice, but
Yeah.
obviously it would be a disadvantage for me when I want to work on my own stuff. So that would be the only reason why that would probably be the only reason why I wouldn't take it is because of that. So yeah, I agree with of what you said.
Yeah, and do you think other movies and TV shows are gonna follow in those footsteps and in that direction?
And in that direction?
I guess it depends. I think they're just gotta take, I think right now with other productions, they want someone to take 3 COVID tests before they go on set. Like 3.
Wow.
Yeah, like 2 or 3 of them. Just to make sure that they're fine, which I get it. And that's
Yeah.
what happened to me. That's what happened to me today. So yesterday and today I took 2 tests of COVID. 2 tests in 2 days. Same production. Yeah. Well, I guess the good thing is that they will pay you $30 for each test.
Yeah.
But yeah, it gets
Not bad.
annoying. I kind of hate it when they put that stick through my nose, It makes me
Uh,
want to. Yeah, I hate that. It makes me want to, you know, um, blow my nose or sneeze or have teary eyes.
Yeah, you like want to scratch and you can't because it's inside. You're like, oh, dude, I understand, man. I feel you. Hopefully next year it'll start out better. I guess that's what we have to get accustomed to this year. You know, if we want to work on set, those are the rules, dude, and that's what we're gonna have to do for now because you know you and me love being on set, man. And hopefully we get to be on set. Did you see the post for Samaritan?
That I did. I might apply for it because they are looking for whatchamacallit, homeless people with. I mean, excuse me. They're
yeah,
looking for
for 8
people.
weeks.
Yeah, I did see that. They're looking for people with long beards to look homeless, and that's me. I have my COVID beard. I haven't shaved since March. The last time
Really?
yeah, the last time I shaved was like on like DMC when they told me to shave, and ever since they shut down productions, I just got lazy and shaving. So yeah, I got this COVID beard for a few months now. I did trim it a couple of times, but yeah, this is all just been out here for 4 months now.
Yeah, dude. Well, hopefully you get it, man. Yeah, I applied to it because that one you can go home. So that one I feel like they're more. Hopefully we get on it because I think I saw you on that too. We worked on that together, I believe, right? Did I work with with you on that?
I'm pretty sure we did. I think it was like a long day. It was like I think more than 12 hours. And you know
Mhm.
what? I think they were it was actually kind of shitty. I think
Yeah,
they didn't give us any lunch or anything like that. And so what's her
right.
face? Jamie?
Yeah,
Jamie, I think the casting director or something like that, she came in and she bought us pizza, and that's something I
yeah.
really appreciate. And she gave me a hug afterwards, which is really nice. Um, but that's another thing about being an extra. It's fun and it's great, and you get to experience how they do filmmaking. But
Yeah,
it's really it sucks how some productions, a lot of productions, mistreat extra, background actors.
right.
Um, I think they need to do a better job in treating everyone equally, seriously. Even though yes, we're
Yeah,
background, we don't get paid that much. The best thing you could do to us is to give us some respect and treat us equally and make sure we feel like we're included. That's it. It's not that hard. I'm not sure how I'm not sure what's it like being an extra in like California or New York, but Georgia is like it's something else. Definitely not the worst thing to work at. Definitely not the worst job. It's definitely a great job, a fun job. But
yeah,
when it comes to the industry, the entertainment industry, movies, TV, music, um, stuff like that, anything to do with entertainment, you'll always find jerks, in the field.
yeah,
I just think a lot of people are pretty political with their kind of I guess their positions
yeah.
with their job.
Oh
Like
yeah, of course,
they're
of course.
makes them very arrogant, and I just don't like that.
Yo, you heard what happened on Ellen? Pretty much the bad work conditions on the Ellen show.
And
Yeah, I did read about that. Yeah, I just think people are pretty political with their positions. They're arrogant, and they get paid more. They get better food. They
They get coffee.
Yeah, that too. They act like coffee. Yes, coffee. Yeah, there'll be some sets where you don't get coffee, and some extras need coffee because you're on set for like 12 hours, sometimes more than 12 hours, sometimes 16 hours.
correct,
They need to wake
correct.
up and yeah, they need to wake up and they need to have energy so they can work and perform. And it's terrible that they don't get even coffee. I think that's bullshit. What's another one that I like I think Ozark is pretty good.
Ozark, I hear the pinnacle of treating extras well, and I can prove this is The Resident. So The Resident, I
The Resident.
I am a core nurse, and all I can say is they treat us great. They know us by name. We get great food, great crafty. Everybody's very nice. Even the ADs remember their name, the BG names, and it's a great core group. And I think once you get into a core group, and for the people that are watching this or hearing this, a core group means like you are one of the main groups in the movie or TV show that is around the actors. That's what it means for the people that don't work in the film industry. It's a group of people that are always around the actors, whether it's like a military, or like I said, I'm a nurse, hospital staff, for example, stuff like that. That's what core BG are. And once you get into a movie or TV show as a core BG, you usually have a good experience, depending on what you're on. But yeah, The Resident, man, great show to be on. If you can get on that, or you probably worked on that, right?
Yeah. That's a great one. Black Lightning is a great one. I think I think Richard Jewell was a great one too. I think Nate, the PA for that movie, he's great. I love Nate. Another PA that I like a lot is Matthew Hendren.
He works on Tag Team, and he worked with me on that Dolly Parton movie that I told you about. And
Yeah, man, we are that group of people that we get treated either good or well, or sometimes just whatever. Yeah, man, but we're there because we love it. It's a pretty decent job. It's better than some jobs. That's all I'm gonna say. We're not complaining. Yeah. As long as we get fed and we get treated correctly, then we'll be there as long as we need to be. And like from what you're telling me, you stay extra to to see how the scenes play out. That's crazy, dude.
sometimes I have balls to do that kind of stuff. I usually I don't do it, and I don't recommend people doing that. But no one's telling you to not do it.
But usually when you get on set, that's like a no-no unless you see like the opportunities that you had to talk to Clint, talk to the I forget her name from Back to the Future. You had those opportunities, so you took them. That's awesome, dude. Because you're gonna remember that for the rest of your life.
Yes, if the opportunity is there. I mean, if I see people talking to the actor or taking pictures, then I'm gonna do it too. That's like the only time I would do it. Same with Leah Thompson. I mean, we were having lunch in the same room, so I'm like, okay. I mean, if we're having lunch in the same room, then that should be fine. I think we're not on set; we're at lunch break. Usually, actors and directors and producers, they'll have their lunch over at their trailers or something like that. But they had their they had lunch at this holding area, which is like a basketball court with like tables and all that. That's where they had their lunch at, and so I just think it was pretty cool, pretty interesting that they did that.
Yeah. All right, dude. And just to finish this up, I want to know what you're watching, man. What have you been up to? Have you been watching movies, TV shows? Have you been back to movie theaters? Tell me about that, man.
Oh, you know what? I did watch some movies over the summer in theaters. Okay, so obviously a lot of theaters closed down, right? But there were some theaters that were still open. Local, like smaller company, smaller theater chains. And I believe in I think it was in May or June. I think it was in June, or either June or July. I saw The Empire Strikes Back in theaters.
That must have been awesome because we're used to seeing that on TV or VHS, whatever, and seeing it in theaters. Oh man, how was it?
Oh, it was a great experience. It was actually on a good size screen too. It was at a theater over in Marietta, which is where I live, and and so what's so cool is, so I went with my roommate, and we were like the only ones in the room, in the auditorium. It was just him and I that saw The Empire Strikes Back in theaters, which is fine. I mean, I can't complain. I mean, we don't want to be near people because of COVID, but it was so cool to watch my favorite and, in my opinion, the best Star Wars movie on the big screen. So I saw that in theaters, And then I saw the Lost World Jurassic Park in theaters, the second Jurassic Park movie. Um,
There you go.
yeah, which is my favorite Jurassic Park prequel. I think it's underrated. And my roommate and I saw that in theaters. I mean, there were like 2 or 3 people there, but that's fine. And it was cool to see that in theaters. I think I saw that in when it first came out in theaters, but I was like 1. I don't remember it. Um, I may have, but if I did, I don't remember it. And that was back in 1997, and I was 1 in 97, so I'm a baby. But so I saw that in theaters, and I saw The Goonies at a drive-in theater.
Really?
Yeah, and it was really cool. It was my first time seeing a movie at a drive-in theater. It was pretty cool. It was a good experience.
Dude, I saw The Goonies. That was the first movie I saw in theaters after they opened the theaters back up. The Goonies. That's funny. And that day,
interesting.
that day, movie tickets were 15 cents because they were doing a special. It was 100-year anniversary for AMC, so that was the ticket price for movie tickets 100 years ago, 15 cents. So that's all we paid, 15 cents a person. It was awesome. And seeing 80s movies in the big screen, how it would have been back in the day watching those movies, I thought that was the coolest thing. And I hope they keep doing that. They keep re-releasing old movies like that because, you know, there's nothing like the theater experience. You know, it's fun at home, but there's nothing like going to a theater, man.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, I think the reason why they were showing these old movies in theaters this summer is because there weren't any newer movies coming out because of COVID.
Right.
But some theaters want to remain open and still make their money by showing just old movies, which is something I can't complain about because there are some movies, there are some old movies that I haven't seen in theaters before, and I want to, you know, take the opportunity to watch them on the big screen, you know.
Right.
And what's another movie that I saw in theaters?
Did you see Tenet?
That I did see. I saw that the other week, and that's probably by far the best new movie I've seen this year. It's. I mean, I love anything by Christopher Nolan. He's a great director, a great writer. Obviously, the movie was very confusing, but I still liked it. I've seen it twice, and the second time I got it a bit better. I understood it a bit better. Obviously, you gotta expect that from Nolan. He likes to make movies where it's like confusing and mind blowing, but I don't mind. I mean, it's very entertaining, great writing, great acting, great story. I mean, yeah, I love Tenet. I saw it the first time I saw it was in IMAX, and it was really cool. So the IMAX that I went to is over at the Mall of Georgia.
That's the only real IMAX there is. That's the only real IMAX we have near us, the Mall of Georgia one.
Yes, and the only real IMAX in the state, actually. All the other IMAXs, they're called Limax. If it's not real, it's a Limax. And so it was cool to see Tenet in IMAX, you know, for my first time. The second time I saw Tenet was in just a regular standard theater, but that's still okay, you know. But I might see it again. But yeah, I love Tenet, and I think that movie might win some Oscars next year.
Oh, for sure, it's gonna win some, you know, achievement in, I don't know, it could be cinematography, it could be special effects. Well, they're really practical effects because Christopher Nolan does everything practical. And one of my favorite things, and this is a spoiler, so if you haven't seen it, cut it off right here. The plane crash. That plane crash was amazing.
Yes, I agree. That's a great effect right there. I mean, that's the thing. I respect Nolan when it comes to practical effects.
Yeah. I saw the thing behind the scenes, and he asked the producer, what plane can we get? And he's like, what plane do you want? And he's like, can we get like a passenger plane? And they got him a passenger plane to crash in a working airport. Like the airport was still going. So can you imagine the people who were traveling hearing an explosion? Like, holy crap, what's going on?
Was there like a terrorist attack or something?
Yes. And
Nolan has
And,
balls. Nolan has some balls.
Yeah.
dude, and the fighting. So he had to teach, not him, but the stunt choreographer. He had to find a way to teach the stunt performers how to fight backwards, how to throw a punch backwards, how to fight, because none of that is special effects. Everything was really choreographed, like they were fighting backwards. Like they had to learn how to fight in reverse, which to me was, whoa, that blew my mind, dude. And even things like picking up the bullets inverted, that was all real. Dude, crazy. Not to get it too much into it, but man, I love that movie. I love the hell out of that movie, dude.
I love the Dark Knight trilogy,
Obviously,
obviously.
Inception. Oh, that's another movie I saw in theaters. Like a week before Tenet, I saw Inception in IMAX, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, that's
And yeah, and obviously Interstellar is great.
And Memento is a great one too.
They all have to do with time,
Yeah,
except the Dark Knight trilogy, because that was the most straightforward movie series. But that's Batman. You can't really play with time. But every other movie he's made, it has to do something with time or timing, or you have Memento, Inception, even Dunkirk. Yeah, exactly. And but all right, dude. Before I finish, do you have any advice for people that are getting or starting in the film industry?
well, just
Network. Obviously, network is really important. The best way to get your foot in the door in the industry, so far is being an extra and just see how they do things on set. Observe, take some notes down if you can, and see how they do it. On set, see how they do filmmaking, and put yourself out there. Tell people what you do. Tell people you could be EPA. You just work hard and also as an extra, if you have a duty, if there's like something you need to do, like specifically, like if they want you to run and look scared because some like giant monster is chasing after you, then do that, but be more like you got do your best to show that you really mean it. Let's say you're like one out of like 100 in this big crowd, and you're all running away, and obviously you're like, oh, I'm not gonna put in the effort because you can hardly see me. It's only one person, and I'm not gonna put in the effort. That's not entirely true. People are watching you, no matter what.
Yeah.
And if you put in the effort to, be the best background actor, who knows? Maybe you'll get promoted. Which something I want to say quickly. Last week I was interviewing a guy named Vincent D. Mile, and he is actually he worked on the Lost World, Jurassic Park, and he was originally a background actor, right? What's up, everyone? It's Jurassic Prince. Today I have an interview with Vincent D. Miles, who played the Screaming Hunter in the Lost World. He's the one who gets attacked by the Velociraptor in the long grass scene, which is a pretty cool scene for an actor to get attacked by a dinosaur. So let's go give him a call right now. Vince.
Hey, Michael.
How's it going, brother?
Not too bad, man. How you doing, bro?
I can't complain.
Good, good. Around the monitor, right?
Mhm.
And I remember Kathy Kennedy going, "Oh my God, you could see his tonsils from my screaming." Of course, obviously that made me like, "All right, I did my job." That when we got the executive producer over there saying you can see his tonsils and she's laughing, yeah,
Nice.
yeah, and obviously that put a big smile on Spielberg's face as well. So.
And
wow.
yeah, and so here's what happened. Steven Spielberg was asking for him and asked him if he wants to get attacked by a velociraptor. And of course, he said yes. And
Of course.
yeah, and obviously his rate went up. He got he went from BG to featured. He got
Wow.
he got his name on the big paycheck and in the ending credits, and he got invited to the LA premiere. So that's pretty cool.
Oh my God! From extra to that.
Yeah, and his I think the reason why he got promoted is because there was a scene where he was with a group of people, a group of like hunters that were running away from, I guess, the T-Rex, and he was saying he was the one that was running the fastest, and he was like the only one that looked like he was like the one who looked scared the most, I guess, something like that.
Yeah.
So he put in a lot
Oh, wow.
of effort just to make it look real, and so on. I guess Steven Spielberg saw that and he liked that he's putting here's like it's like this. He was an extra that was putting in extra work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you put in extra work, who knows? Maybe you'll get promoted. And I think that's what happened. Steven Spielberg was asking for him, so he got to meet Steven Spielberg and asked him, "Hey, let me see what you could do for us. Give us your big screen. Give us your big scare face." And so he gave Spielberg his biggest scream, and that's how it happened. He gets attacked by a velociraptor in that long grass scene. And I think that's really inspiring. It's a really cool story. Once it comes out, once I upload the video, I'll let you know. It's a really, I think you'll like it.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely I'll feature it, man. But dude, you just blew my mind with that story. That's awesome. So he goes from being extra, then like you say, they are paying attention. They are looking at you, even if you think they're not. Okay, just because the camera is not focused on you as an extra, doesn't mean that directors, PAs, ADs are not looking at how you're, working, because they want to see you do good.
Right.
And that's an awesome story, dude. I can't wait for you to put that interview out, dude. I've seen all your interviews; they're awesome, and I will definitely feature it. And guys, don't forget to follow, Michael at Jurassic Prince. Like I'm gonna put the links below, like I said. But dude, this has been an awesome interview. Thank you for doing this with me.
No, thank you for having me on your show. I really appreciate it. I had a great time.
Dude, we talked so much, we lost track of time, and I know I'm gonna have you back, especially for like a special Suicide Squad episode or other things that we might do in the future. Hopefully, something I want to do is if we get back on set, if they allow me to shoot a couple episodes in extra holding, we can do that. Stuff like that, man. We could just collab and do. Yeah. It's called being extra.
Great idea.
It's called being extra. So if we're like in an extras holding, I'll take my camera and we'll interview extras, and we'll just make something big out of this. Because right now we're at home. We know why we're at home, because of the pandemic. But once we get back into that world, I can't wait to see the possibilities out there, dude.
Oh yeah, that's actually a great idea. Good thinking, Jorge. That's actually good thinking. Good idea. Well, yeah. Do it, man. Go for it. See what happens.
We'll see what happens when the time comes. But all right, guys. Well, this has been great. Guys, do not forget to subscribe. We are on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Amazon Music, and pretty much anywhere you can find the podcast. If you want to listen to us, listen to it on podcast. If you want to see pictures and things that we talk about, watch it on YouTube. We are on both platforms, and do not forget to subscribe to Jurassic Prince. And we'll see you guys for the next episode. Peace.
See ya.